Hello and welcome to a Monday morning live stock market crash edition here on Stock Market TV. I'm your host, Steve Strazza. Look, it's like 2 days in a row that we're doing this. We're coming on here and it's an absolute bloodbath. So we decided last week we're going to come on after the morning show each and every day. I think we're going to do every day this week besides tomorrow. So join us. We're going to figure this out. I think a tradable bottom is maybe just a close away, a day away here. I joked with Spencer this morning on the morning show. He said everything's getting killed. I said stocks are up 3%. It was true back then. It's a little less true now. We're about, I don't know, 1.5%, 2% off the lows. Now we were really clawing back some losses here this morning. You know, things looked far worse last night and while we were all sleeping. When you zoom out on the S&P 500, I mean, how much more do we want? How much more downside you really want to look for here at this point? For me, drawing a straight line, horizontal support line, right at the prior cycle highs. And S&P 500 futures is about 4,800. We're there. All the way back to where the bull market peaked and rolled over late 2021, early 2022. Is that enough? I don't know. We were talking this morning with Jeff and Herb on the morning show. Some people I spoke to last week work at some macro shops told me stocks should be down 40, 50% if these tariff numbers are real. So, okay, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear with your bottoms, right? Whether or not this is the final low, gun to my head, I don't think so, right? You make lower lows and lower highs in a bear market. I think we're in a bear market. I think it really just began, at least at the index level, or a month into this thing. Remember when we talked about this VWAP so much over and over and over again? God, seems so long ago now. This is the August 5th VWAP here, right? That was the spot. You had your retest right there of support. That was the place to get out or get short. Then we shatter through the VWAP from the Q3 2023 correction lows. And now look where we're at. The VWAP from the cycle lows, which, put a cap on sell-offs back in December, early January of 23. Again, in March of 2023, we found support there in late 2023, right? After the October correction. Really, that took 3 months, July to October, right? And now we're back there. Okay, logical area, logical level for buyers to show up, right? It's a show me market. They got to show us something. We know we're oversold. We know sentiment is completely washed out. Like I said, I'm talking to people saying we should be down 50%. That's what you want them saying. In bear markets, we experience some of the fiercest counter trend rallies, mean reversion moves in market history. In fact, those counter trend rallies are actually oftentimes far better than the rally waves and rally phases that we have during bull markets. It's coming off of extreme oversold levels like the ones we're at right now, where you get those rallies. That's where my head is at. That's what I'm interested in. I have a very short list, such a short list. Let's go over it today. So we come on here, we talk about opportunities. We're going to build a shopping list. We talked Friday about home builders, really, the cryptos, right, and a little bit of retail. All of those areas very interesting, right? Retailers is going to be winners and losers. You got to go find the right ones, okay? For home builders, let's take a look. I think this is still very much in play, right? We got the VWAP from the October 2022 lows. Could call that the bear market lows, right? You saw this put a floor in the sell-off back in October 2023, just like the VWAP we were looking at in the S&P 500 a minute ago, and now we're back there. Now, this is far better, in my opinion, than the setup in something like the S&P 500 because we have this really nice bullish momentum divergence, potential bullish momentum divergence in place. What do we need to see for it to confirm? For me, let's hook higher right here, dig in at this VWAP, right, and get back above this shelf of support. This little breakdown level, call it 95, 96. I don't think you want to get cute and jump stuff in this market. I think you want to look through the individual names, right? There's some interesting stuff. I really like the Pulte Homes. I think this is best in breed when it comes to home builders. Kind of stock I don't mind owning longer term. Maybe this is a great entry. I think there's going to be a huge trade here in the home builders. This relative strength continues to stand out. When home builders start working, it's going to be an environment where banks find a floor too. Expect regional banks to be working higher as well. I'm almost looking at them for confirmation for my home builders trade. Okay, so that's one. On that same theme, we can't ignore the strength from Rocket Mortgage. It's Quicken Loans, RKT, one of the largest, residential loan providers, residential mortgage providers. You got the VWAP coming in from the prior cycle highs right here. We're sitting on it right now. Right, tested it a couple times this year already. Boom, boom, boom. We're up there. We absorbed the rest of the overhead supply at this level. It's go time. I see Rocket trading back towards 20 in no time. This ends up being like a beach ball effect. When you see charts like this that are showing strength through the storm, right? Rocket's been moving higher since last week through all of this selling. What happens when the broader market finally gets its grip, finds its footing, and starts moving higher? That's the beach ball. You're holding it underwater. It pops up to the surface, right? There's a lot of pressure here, buying pressure in this name. If the broader market could only recover, you would expect that relative strength to continue. Really like RKT. Call it right here above 15.75. Vietnam, I don't know if this one is actionable or anything that you could do right now. I stuck my neck out a little bit Friday, dipped my toes in. I loved the candle. Friday, we had some news there. Just talked about it with Jeff on the morning show. Maybe Vietnam gets some new business from all this. Maybe Vietnam is a place where manufacturers can go if they're leaving China. I don't know. That's the grumblings that we're hearing. Look, for me, it's simple. VNM, if we hold these lows, it's really interesting. Call it $11, right? VNM is above $11. I like it. I like the story around it. I like the narrative. I think we're completely washed out. And if you can find something that's holding support and has been holding support, that's really interesting. It deserves to be on the watch list. CME, SIBO, these are volatility stocks, right? This is CME. CME can dig in here, recover. This is an interesting setup. This is an interesting level. And when you zoom out, sorry guys, slow internet. When you zoom out on the CME, you got a big old base here. Just came back and checked it, 250. The way you could do something like this for an entry, you don't have to go any further than this VWAP, dropping the VWAP right here from Friday's candle. You could use that to get you in. Boom. It's going to happen around 259. It's going to move a lot in the coming days. SIBO, another one. You got a clean level here. You got to get back above this buy on strength only type of situation, right? Who knows how low these can go, right? Once you're back in the box here and something like this, right? SIBO, if God forbid the market does turn around, look for this one to get back above these pivot highs from December. I think it's interesting there. Virtu holding in. A lot of you know how much I like Virtu. It's probably no secret, right? You do have a big range here, right? Virtu can hold these lows, fine. I like it more on the VWAP recapture. I'm already in. I'm probably going to stay in. This is the kind of stock for an environment like this. It's not spicy. This is still safe. This is safe stuff, I think. Here's something a little spicier. What's going on with these dollar stores? What's going on with these dollar stores? I like it. I don't know is the answer. A lot of private equity rumors. Something's going on with the Dollar General. You're getting a breakout here. Call this like a special situation. The dollar stores right now. I think you have a massive gap fill opportunity on the DG. I think if you're above 88, you could trade this back to call it 122. It's a great trade. What is it, like 35% on a gap fill move back into the 120s? Trading around 92 today. I like the Dollar General. Dollar Tree, if you want to make the bet, it follows in the path of Dollar General. Say Dollar General, this is a valid little base breakout here, and this thing keeps moving up the right-hand side here and filling this gap a bit, right? Then you want to look at something like Dollar Tree and say, well, why wouldn't it follow, right? These two stocks are as close competitors as they come. So why wouldn't Dollar Tree get out of its little base here? You could draw this differently. Draw this like this. Okay. Little base, nice, okay. Call it 77.5, 77.50. You start filling this gap. I like this one back towards 94, 95 in the Dollar Tree. Look, Spencer, if you want to come chat real quick before I hop off, here's what happened since we last spoke Friday when we did this live stream. They came out and they took down everything that hadn't been taken down yet, the Bears. Wrote a note about it this morning, right? So just last week, we're sitting here saying stuff like, oh, healthcare looks good. Healthcare is a good spot to hang out. You might be safe there. Massive top breaking down here. That was Friday's candle. This is today's follow through. absolutely blasted. Oh, Staples. That might be a good spot to hang out. You might be safe there. How about Staples? To and through the prior cycle highs, you can draw a little support line here. Right, you had a bunch of touches, 2023, right through it. You got the pivot lows here now coming into play right around 56. That's your staples, SPLV, low volatility stocks. All of these groups, it's like worst basis, low volatility, no different, right? You want to draw a little potential support line here at the prior cycle highs. You could even move it a little lower. I would draw that thing pretty thick, probably. Right? You're back below it, back in the box, not where you want to be. Right? You start dropping VWAPs like this, and prior cycle lows. Right? That's it. That's like last line of support stuff. Right? Think back to the S&P 500. We're at those VWAPs, even the defensive groups, even the groups that were holding up the best. Right? They came for them. Financials. We're talking about last week. Financials. Oh, they look so good. Maybe financials are a good place to hang out. Any way you want to draw this, it's broken. This is now a top. Right? Something like the banks, the big bank index, this KBE. You zoom way out in this, Spencer, yikes. I was overlaying this chart with some of the international ETFs like MSCI Germany, right? But look, these are failed breakouts, massive failed breakouts. Now we're getting big follow-through moves lower. They say from failed moves come fast moves. It's exactly what just played out in this market. Massive failed move in something like KBE, MSCI Germany, same thing. This is EWG, right? Look at this huge base. International investors are so excited. Things are looking so good. Bang, right back in the box. Failed moves come fast moves. They took down anything that was still standing last week. They took down all of the remaining leaders. They even hit gold and silver, precious metals. This weekend, we were thinking, wow, look at Bitcoin. They can't break down Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. They broke it down. They took down Bitcoin. They took down all the cryptos last night. Absolute sea of red. I was out to eat with JC. He was like, don't even look at your cell phone. I wanted to live watch the crypto market crash. I wasn't interested. But here's Bitcoin, right? And here's the big level for me in crypto. I got to see Solana back on trend. Solana is as important as it gets. Solana, this is your semiconductors, Spencer.
What's that red line right there? What is that?
This is just a big neckline. Were you talking about the VWAP? This is the VWAP from the prior cycle lows. Look at this.
Okay.
This is where we bottomed $9, $10, single digits. Back in late 22, early 2023. This thing was at 250, almost 300 not long ago. Now we're talking about the VWAP from when it was in the single digits. Solana's got to get back above 120. And if it does, I'm interested. I'm interested in trading all these cryptos, a big move, because they still are showing relative strength. Here's Bitcoin relative to the S&P 500. That's awesome. Since the selling started, this line's moving up and to the right. Right, so there is something there, in my opinion, for crypto. Maybe a little bit too soon. Right here today, if you're looking for a trade today, I think the rocket, if it holds here, I think that's the one. The relative strength here is just off the charts. Right, pushing into the green today. I like it. And Spencer, one more.
Yeah,
right,
no.
Spicy, the UWMC.
These move together. If you're talking about Rocket Mortgage, you got to go to the other one.
Yeah, these move together, right? Talking about close peers like Dollar Tree and Dollar General, same story here. UWMC got a nice momentum divergence in place. I really like this is housing. This is the housing theme. Same as Homebuilders. Draw these similar. So there's something going on there. I think it's interesting. And remember, look to the banks for confirmation. If you're going to make some money getting long for a trade, the housing theme right here, you want banks to be agreeing. I think it's very important. Look for banks to flip green in the event that that's a trade that you're going to want to put on. Okay.
I think what you can also do, Steve, is sort of identify who the leaders are. And I don't mean leaders in terms of outperformance. I mean the leaders in terms of the ones that make their moves first, right? So right now, it would seem like where is ground zero? Every cycle has different ground zeros. It's always changing. Yep. Right now, ground zero is kind of retail, right? It's anything consumer. So those are all the stocks that are bouncing right now. Is all those consumer? I mean, RH is up. What I see it up 6%, right? I mean, it got destroyed last week.
I'll give you one more. One more. Really interesting. Solar stocks, I would think they'd be doing worse. That stands out. I think best in breed industry leader FSLR. Look no further. FSLR. We got a big level. Can you see my screen here?
Yep.
That's the VWAP. from the cycle lows here in blue, right? You can also just draw logical support level, right? So this one's got scoop and score written all over it, right? Big level here. Scoop and score written all over this one. So first solar called a failed top above 136, but really I want that confirmation. Get me back into the 140s, 138, 139, 140, right? That stands out. You got a little bear flag down there just below a little support level that was undercut. And boy, that could be a little failed breakdown. Nice hook. That's all I got. That's all I got today.
All right, nice little bounce here. I mean, the Russell is green from an open basis. Like I said, a lot of retail names bouncing right now. All those names that got crushed last week are getting bought right now. So we'll see. The Q's only down 2%, right? The S&P only down 2%. So
you can also just own bonds here, Spencer. That's not a terrible idea either. This chart, this is TLT, starts looking better and better. Oops, what did I do?
whoa.
This chart starts looking better and better each day. All right, you're getting a little pullback in the bonds here, but TLT, I do like it above that VWAP from September of last year. That's around 91 and a quarter.
All right. Like Steve said, we'll be doing this week. We're not going to be doing this stream tomorrow. Steve is traveling, but we're going to
get
do
home.
it.
He's
gonna get home. We'll do it Wednesday. We'll do it can't do Thursday either. Crap. That's okay. We'll do it Wednesday. Doesn't matter. If you guys want to hear what Steve is doing and trading and buying or selling, whatever, you want to hear his thoughts, my best recommendation for you is to get the Strazza letter. It's his free note. It goes out pretty much every day that he's not traveling. The link is on the screen. The link is in the description on YouTube. It is stockmarkettv.com/get-Strazza-letter. It's right there on the screen. And that's where Steve, shares his thoughts. At the end of the day, he's had some time. He's had, his thoughts have been in his head all day. He puts them down. Great stuff from him. So get the email. It's free and it's awesome. So Steve, I won't see you tomorrow. I probably will talk to you, but not on the air tomorrow. Yep. So have a good rest of your day. Everyone have a great rest of your day. We have chart requests live at 1:00. Send us your tickers and we'll see you. All right. Stay safe out there. That's all I got. Stay safe out there, I guess. I don't know.
Let's keep money mode. Take shots. Let's take them responsibly. Have some really clear levels where we're out. You want fast trades in this tape. You want to be nimble.
Keep money mode.
Quick. Thanks for joining, everybody. This was fun.
All right.
We'll keep doing these.
See you.